Well, we'll go for our next HR good news, and this is actually it's coming from the diaspora. Now, I saw the story first, and I was like, okay, Mami Abba, have you ever have you been to a shrink before? I mean, we call them shrinks, but a psychologist.
No.
You've never.
No.
Okay. What's your perception about them?
About
A psychologist.
them or about going to see them?
Both about them, because mostly people's perception about them informs their decision to go and see them or not to see them.
I think people's perception is basically because most of the comments I've read from people not wanting to go see a shrink
Mm-hmm.
is because it's like, why do I have to go see somebody who is a complete stranger to me and then tell them about the thoughts I have in my head, the things that are going on in my life, and all of that. So I think that is the reason, the whole opening up to somebody you do not know, that stops people from going to see psychologists. But I do not mind. If it's needed for me to go see one, I would gladly do it.
Okay.
In as much as I hate opening up,
Yeah.
I feel like if it's needed, then I have to do what's best. What will be best for me? Yeah, I'll definitely go see one.
That's great. You know, people tend to associate the psychologist with the psychiatrist. Immediately, you tell someone, "Oh, I'm thinking of seeing a shrink." The first question is,
What about
y-
Are you mad?
"Yeah, are you mad?" Like this, no matter how nicely they ask us, "Are you mad?" That's the first question they ask you, because they're wondering, why are you going to see a shrink in the first place? But I believe the lack of education on the whole thing, and the fact that we don't even see the worth or the value of it, also makes us just turn away and shy away from it. Well, this one is about a black woman. She's an African American, and she has made self exploration card decks for women of color. Most often, the ones you find in the psychologist's office or in their offices or wherever you go to meet them are made for, let's say, the European or the Western type. But there's none made for women of color. This one, she made it for them, taking into consideration their emotions, how they think about everything. And her main goal was actually change the mindset of how we look down upon ourselves, because first off, we feel that we're not worth it because of our color. And then she doesn't push them to want to become like what they are not or who they are not, but she lets them appreciate themselves. So that's the first ever therapy card that has been made for women of color. And she's an interesting person. Her name is Dr. Ebony. She's a licensed psychologist, a food relationship strategist. I'm still trying to look for that thing. Food relationship strategist. You like food, and I'm just wondering, food relationship strategist. How do we put all these three together? It won't be a bad cause to pursue. You know that.
Yeah, me,
Generally,
food relationship
strategist.
strategist. Okay, I think that's something we should read into,
Yeah.
because then I'm thinking, is it relationship between two different types of food, or is it relationship between the person and the food they're going to
Eat.
eat? But that's an interesting position, an interesting title of food relationship. Maybe I should look into that.
You should. But we'll have to find a way to hook you up with Dr. Ebony. And let's find out.
How
Wait,
I can become a food relationship
are
strategist?
you looking into that because of the food in it? Okay, well, she's actually helping people break free from mental, emotional, and systematic issues that are holding them back. And she created, they call it My Therapy Card. She created it to bridge the gap for many barriers that make it difficult for people to engage in therapy services. Ideally, her mission is basically to serve as a tool to help you understand your problem areas and begin to do the work in the areas keeping you from living your best life. Now, the good thing, like you mentioned, people are wondering why they should go meet a stranger. The good thing about the cards is that you sit at home with it, and then you answer the questions or you reflect on the areas that it pops up in front of you. So you don't necessarily have to go, but it helps you identify, as you yourself do the, should I say, it's soul searching or inner peace seeking on your own, without necessarily having to divulge all your lifetime secrets to a total stranger. So you can check her out on www.mytherapycards.com, www.mytherapycards.com, and you can read more about the first ever self-exploration card deck, which was created by a black woman for women of color.